Hi everyone, good night. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry to keep you guys waiting a little. It just always takes a little time. so, I hope you can all hear me and see me. I think it should all be all right. I see Said. Hi Said, thank you for waiting if you're still here. So, well, tonight I'm going to dedicate this little box here to Loki. And just maybe explain a few things first before um, I actually do the dedication. It's going to get a little bit of incense. Sorry if there's a little bit of background noise. It's always like it's Saturday night. So there's people outside and stuff, and my dog is here too. So it's never truly 100% silent. So that is just how that is. Just mixing this up. In the meantime, while I do this, feel free to ask any questions, anything. I'm just mixing this up a little bit. What he likes. So let me first. I got the beer for him right here. I'm gonna do just very simple. Write his name on it, much as I can in the dark. It's very simple. I don't really have a sigil for him. That's much. Well, it's too dark to really do that. He knows it's his, so that's what counts. So, what is this all about? Well, going to. Ooh. Well, there you go. hmm. Maybe he just wants one candle. I don't know. I you put this on for light mostly because it's so dark without it. Um, it has no other purpose really. It's just for lighting. So well, as you can see right here, is it a very simple box? Nothing special about it. Um, this the idea is that this box is indeed very unassuming, a very normal box. And when you open it up, you have this. Um, this is a portrait of Loki that I made. And the idea is that you can use this as like a sort of a sort of mini altar almost. Like you can put it down like this. Let me try to demonstrate it a little. And you can put like offerings in it and things like that, and use this portrait as a sort of thing to look into. And I'm just gonna ask Mr. Said here to, this is a channel that's dedicated to spirits. I'm not into mundane things, so if you could please keep it down, otherwise I'll have to remove you. I'm not like this is not a dating channel or something. Anyway, let's continue. Yeah. So I got distracted. um, the idea is that this is very simple on the outside, You can use it for storage, but it's also a way for people who have to keep their practice a little um, hidden, maybe. Sorry for that noise. I forgot to switch my phone off. Um, yeah, so that people who have to hide their practice don't um, like they can just keep things a little hidden in there, you know? Just close the box and it will be. Oh, there's my dog, of course. Close the box and it will be just a normal box. And there's nothing in there. Like, no one will suspect anything, like, really. So yeah, and it's also just something like maybe for travel size, you know, I can probably it's a project that it's kind of still an experiment. My friend will uh, eventually test this. Um, Perhaps I can experiment a little bit with smaller, maybe less deep boxes, so it's like travel size. Um, So yeah, so it's like a storage, but for the spirit, of course, for spirit offerings, and uh, like maybe like put a candle in there, things like that. But also like a sort of a small um, collapsible or like travel size evocation unit, I would say, like a small altar that you can fold in and out, and it's easy to hide for when people come, for when you have guests or things like that, and you don't want to show them what you're up to. I'm sorry, my dog is just being very, of course, starting to lick his paws right here. Like always does this. And he's doing it for attention. I know that. Hey, Colin, rustig. He does it because he gets a little jealous. Oh, well, I'll just have to wait for him to be done with that. Um, yeah, Sander, thank you very much. I have moderators, and I can remove the guy myself if needed. I just didn't want to be like completely immediately remove them like that. But yeah, it gets a little distracting sometimes when I do something for spiritual and people start commenting about looks and this and that, and that's not what I'm here for anyway. So the dedication itself is going to be very simple. um, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's too far away from me. But yeah, I think I generally think because there are a lot of people who have to hide their practice for whatever reason, be it because they're in a very religious country, maybe, or just if you don't want prying eyes or you don't want to have people asking questions and stuff, uh, and it can be very stressful if every time you have visitors over you have to hide everything, like, and so maybe it's easier if you just have a few boxes for the spirits that you care for, or the spirits that you work with a lot, they're very close to you, and just keep things in there so that you can just easily clean it up and don't have the whole altar to take down. So um, yeah, if this is something that is successful, my friend is going to test it. There's definitely a few things that I need to improve, like sanding it first. Like, this is a very new material for me too. Um, that is something that it's still a bit like in the testing phase when it comes to that. But if all goes well, I intend to start making these for customers and maybe have options to have the outside decorated as well, and see how that all that goes. I will try and get back to the chat later on. I just cannot read it all. It's too far away. I'm just waiting for a bit of silence here next to me. That's what he's doing. That's why he's doing that. He just wants attention all the time. Colin. That's it. Oh, I see my camera's moving around a lot. And it's always like that. Whenever I want to do something, there will be things in the background making a lot of noise. So yeah. Trying to get some smoke going as well. Let me see. Colin, gas op je plaats. Hey, klaar. 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 Oh. It's always a bit tricky with these things. Well, I guess there's just not going to be any incense smoke then. It's just going to be incense with no smoke. They say it's a could be a spiritual thing when there's no smoke. I don't know. Smokeless fire, maybe. Well, I got all the time. You know what? I'm going to get something. Just a second. I'll be back soon. Trying to squeeze out of here. That's why my dog is in the way. Of course. Ole, hey. Okay. Sorry for all that. Oh, wait a minute. Colin, ga je op? Hey, Hoek. Hey, Hoek. Damn. I'm sorry, guys. Someone needs to kind of back off. Come on. Yes. Oh. Sorry, I cannot have dogs that are getting playful when there's fire nearby. So Whew. That took a lot of force because he's very strong. But here we are. Finally. No, this is just gonna be it. Yeah, exactly, Sander. Like apartment managers, things like that. For me, it's like my house. You know, the landlord, the house owners. You never know, or family, or stuff like that. Um, yeah. So I'm sorry. By the way, I my T-shirt might look a little dirty. It's not actually dirty. It's I wore it to a tank concert and it got some blood on it. So that's what happens there. So, hey, Scotty is here too. I don't. Yeah, for mint tins, but the thing is that with tins you cannot. I can't really paint them, so that's what the idea with this is. Of course, that on the inside will be like a personal portrait of the spirit, like the ones I'm already making. So it's finally a little bit silent here. My God, took a while. It's a very fluffy kind of incense that I have. Okay, let me get back in the zone. So I haven't even removed this thing yet. Oh, it's okay. We'll just do that later. I need a bit of light. I know this is like you can't see your thing right this way, but this actually looks a lot nicer from where I'm sitting. Like, I just have to kind of to activate it all. You just have to do it this way, and then I'll turn it around later. So I'm asking Loki to officially open this portal. The portal that's in this is in this box basically, and take it as his. Take it in and make it so that he can use it to enter this world, and the person who will be getting this box can use it to access him and get closer to him. So I'm asking him, I know he's already here. I'm just kind of waiting for his presence to become a little stronger. It's probably part of why there's so much noise here. That's just something that I need to deal with as dealing with a spirit like him, or dealing like, yeah. I mean, he's pretty great. Yes, he's here. It's not funny how he confirmed it to me. Like he's just a plume of the smoke, lighting up a plume of this, like a little bit of smoke from on this side. And I know because he always appears, he usually appears on my left side. So um, that that was my his confirmation. So I'm asking him what to do, what must be done, basically on his end. Yeah. So he has opened his portal. He's part of the gate, basically. I'm going to do my part now. Just like this. Now, the way I work with him is very informal, and that's because I know him very well. And with a spirit like him, if you know them well, you just don't want to keep them waiting too much, you know? You don't want to waste their time with formal stuff if you know they're already there. See, now finally the smoke starts. And this is actually incense that's for him. It sits on his altar. So there we go. Let me just prop this up like a little nicely so everyone can see. I think the reason why got this candle here went out first is because it was kind of dangerously close to this little wooden thingy. So oh, I actually put it upside down. Well, there you go. It's always like that. Never a dull moment with Loki. So, with this being done, I'm back in the dark again, but that's okay. With all this being done, let me see if I can get it to focus a little. That's okay. I Yeah, I get a lot of questions about how I make these spirit portraits, such as this one, but also like the ones that I usually do like on paper. And I just wanted to maybe explain a few things about that, how that works. Um, Let me just and have a really quick. Said, you did a ritual with Azazel. But I don't. I cannot really get into Azazel right now as I'm working with Loki. So um, that is a little bit. Yeah, I have several videos with about him, so you can check those out on my channel about Azazel. But tonight is Loki night. So yes, what I do is I make these spirit portraits, and how that usually goes is that someone will ask me if I can make a portrait of this or that spirit, and either way, I already know that spirit or I don't. In which case, if I don't know that spirit, I will ask King Paimon, and I will ask him first if it's possible, if it's suitable for me to work with that spirit, as King Paimon is my mediator. He's basically there the whole time, especially with a new spirit. He will be guiding and making sure there's no problems, no miscommunications. So and then once he tells me that it's okay for me to work with that spirit, um, because making these portraits is something that's very gets you very close to that spirit. So it has to be safe. You have to be a little compatible somehow, you know. Um, and so once he tells me that it's okay, I then ask. Well, sometimes I will ask the person who it's for if they have a specific way, like a sigil or specific things that they use for that spirit. Um, so I will use the same symbols or maybe just the things that they do. Um, and I will then use that or ask King Paimon what to use if they don't have if the customer doesn't really have anything like that or nothing specific, and I will ask for what kind of offerings. So um, that during the first evocation, I will have something for that spirit, um, and then I will call them forth the first time and ask if they want to have their portrait painted by me. And usually they will say yes. It's never happened that they say no, because usually, most of the times when someone approaches me to ask for a spirit portrait, it's already basically that spirit asking me to do it in a way. So I will then um, ask for directions, ask how how they want to be portrayed, and usually that takes several evocations to do that, and to get in all the details and everything. And sometimes they will just, I will ask that, like, leave that question open for them, and they will just start showing me things all throughout several days or weeks even. And I have King Paimon right there with me to make sure that I understand everything correctly. And he will also sometimes, in case there is, like, I have technical problems, um, and sometimes the spirit wants something that is a little bit difficult for me to make. And King Paimon is usually there to help me, um, yes, to give me tips and tricks and do some extra education, basically teach me a few things. And also, in case the spirit involved is just not very artistic, um, King Paimon is very good at translating a spiritual message or translating energy into artwork, into human understandable art. So that's basically how that goes. And then at some point, um, the painting is done, of course, and then we have a dedication like this, usually a little more elaborate. Um, this is a bit more toned down because it's a trial version, and basically um, Loki agreed to do it for free. So because he knows this is a tryout, and I have to kind of stick to that. Like, just get him a nice beer and some incense, and um, nothing too big. I don't know why my camera keeps readjusting the focus every time, but maybe maybe it's Loki's energy. So yeah, and as Loki and King Paimon are pretty much the same beings, um, it's yeah. I'm talking about King Paimon now, but yeah, they're basically practically the same energy source, or like the same. They have the same um, roots, same energy. Yeah, the same source basically. So it's not too far off. Like, talking about King Paimon while working with Loki is, to me, he can switch like a chameleon almost. Um, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that. And I usually, when I dedicate one of those portraits, I usually have the sigil of the spirit on the back, or the symbol that I've been using. And I used that is usually for protection and to make sure it arrives safely and without any damage, and usually it does actually. Um, so yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I don't know if you guys have any questions about that or about Loki. And if not, I'm just gonna wait a minute and well, Said, if you don't get any noise, maybe that's a good thing too. I don't know. It depends on a noise very much suits the spirit that is Loki after all. I mean, he's an agent of chaos, so there's gonna be chaos if he's here. Well, I'm just gonna give it a second, see if there's any questions. Also, I don't really post a lot of my paintings on here. Obviously, most of the ones that I make are already sold because I make them like custom made. So I don't really have any here right now. But you can, if you're interested, if you're curious, you can see them on my Instagram account or on Facebook. That's where I sort of have a little portfolio. So yeah, and yeah. So basically, what I do is I make those portraits according to their own design, um, allowing the spirits to be portrayed the way they want to be, and not how they're portrayed by, I don't know, ancient. Sometimes, you know, yeah, there's something to be said, of course, about ancient scriptures and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes the popular image of a spirit doesn't suit how they really are, and yeah, I seek to portray them the way they truly want to be portrayed, and not the way that humanity sees them. So yeah, I think it can be quite important to do that, to ask them themselves instead of going by what people have been saying for ages and what could be wrong, you know. So in that case, if there aren't any more questions about this, then I'm gonna call it a night. And I will thank you all for watching. And I hope to be back probably soonish. I'll probably have something. Kind of want to do some rituals again, but I don't know. Don't really have any inspiration for that. So sometimes, you know, if there aren't any rituals to be done, it's okay to just not do anything. You know, if like kind of not fixing something if it's not broken. So thanks everyone for watching. And again, like if you're interested in my work, in my artwork, what I do, of course, feel free to ask questions on my Facebook or on Instagram or on here. I just don't really have any pictures up on here, so that's all. But yeah, here you. This is kind of a little taste of what I do with that. So good night, everyone, and see you guys again soon.